Start here. We're starting now.
Sure, I guess. Here.
No, I was gonna say something.
Go ahead. What's up?
That you gotta find a good HOA that's not gonna give you the problems that you've been having, bro.
No,
You
it
know?
turns
That's
out
not gonna give you headaches.
the HOA apparently has been paying a divorce lawyer $600 a month, and she's the one who owns the janitorial services company that was cleaning up, which was a 3-man crew, a mom and a daughter and a husband.
I've seen them before.
So-
Cleaning the stairs.
So we're finding all these random charges as they're sifting through the bank statements. We had been asking the HOA for, they give us an annual budget, but we would be like, oh, give us the expense report and give us like receipts in terms of,
Proof.
yeah, give me proof of where the money's going. Hey, oh, yeah, we'll get that to you right away. And so what happens? Your life goes on, you forget. And yeah.
Life
So,
goes
yeah.
on, you forget. You don't bring. Nobody brings it up.
So basically, it's like it's so nice to live in an HOA, right? Where there's in a building where there's amenities like a hotel. I want that hotel feel if I live in a condo.
Yeah, one of my clients lives in what's that? Where Stephanie used to live? What's the name?
I don't know the name of the building,
Bro, it's great.
but so you have
so good.
But the problem is you have a super nice building, right? It has a gym, it has a jacuzzi, it has a steam room,
Nice
a sauna, nice lobby. There's
Yeah.
all these nice community areas.
They tax you on that shit.
But the problem is, if you're living somewhere where you're paying, let's say $1,000 HOA, but they have all the amenities and they're spending your money appropriately, it's worth it. Now,
And it's like spotless.
exactly, everything is pristine. You feel like you're walking into a hotel when you go into the building.
That's what it feels like.
But then you have this other HOA that they're managing your building and they're just stealing money. And it's-
Mismanaging your money.
And it's so common here. Yeah, you have to say mismanaging, because if you say stealing, now I'm gonna get a lawsuit. So they're taking funds, bro, and they're draining the people who live there and live in that building. So
You gotta find a good one. You gotta-
it's like if you want to live in a building, then you have to find a good one.
like when you're looking for a house. You know, you gotta go look, meet the owners, ask questions. But yeah, I want to live in a condo too.
I personally don't really enjoy all the housework that's involved. And I know I just bought a house.
You know firsthand.
And I'm going to find out over the next 2 to 3 years. And I'm going to tell myself, all right, so we tried this house thing again. Is this for me or is it not for me? I'm going in positive, but if anything,
Sure.
that's where you need to invest your money, because that's where you're going to get the most return.
yeah, a house is always a good one for sure.
But
I mean, and after you have the house, yeah, experience condo, and you have your.
Gabe, I can hear that static even right now. You can hear the static? Yeah, the background, the shh.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just a constant noise.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah, I can still hear it. Not sure. Is it hard to take that off in Final Cut?
Not necessarily, but it might mess with your voice because it's just not
There it is. Oh, whatever you just did, just
Out.
there.
Yep.
woof. What was that?
Okay, so we had channels 3, 4, 5, and 6 all the way up on the gain.
Oh,
So the
static,
That was
clear
fun.
as day.
okay, cool.
Wow.
And what's up, bro?
So, wow, this is crystal clear now.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's been about a year since you were on the podcast, so we might as well. This is just
Over a year, like 2 months. No?
Well, I think it was January of last year.
Oh yeah. So it's about a year, exactly.
But yeah, so it's been a year since you've been on. Life has taken a little bit of a turn for you, no?
Big time.
Why? So let's update the people.
That shit.
My mom, who might be listening, so she wants to know what's going on in Alex's life.
Emita, saludos. The last time I was here, I remember the question that you asking me about clients and training, and I was training out of the Hialeah gym or the Flagler gym.
So for people who don't know, Alex was in the process of changing his life. He went from bartender to barbender.
Yeah.
Now he's a personal trainer. He's working at AeroFit, a personal training gym in Wynwood, where you feel like you've learned and you've grown a lot.
Yeah,
No?
so much in the last 9 months.
What have you learned through those 9 months? Because it hasn't been a quick transition.
No.
You were stepping into a field where
Brand new.
as a brand new individual, brand new certification, you had a passion for fitness and sports, but now you're doing it, and this is now your profession.
Yeah.
So how difficult was that journey to go from bartending to now
Yeah.
personal
I was
training?
just talking to Gabe about that. The transition was 2021 was my hardest year. I felt like bartending, I was making this much money. And then 2020 hit. Obviously, everybody took a pay cut. Boom. Took a pay cut. I was living off of those checks that they were giving us. Some of my savings ran through my savings. So after I ran through my savings, I ran through some Bitcoin. And then I was still, maintaining. Then 2021, started working with you. The practice just getting started. I wasn't making great money, but I was making some type of money that was covering my rent. But obviously wasn't the same as what I'm making now. So I went from making this much money to making like half of that down here. And the transition, I was just trying to climb back to making that money. And then thank God, 9 months later, I'm making this much more. So I was making this, came down, now I came back up. And that's how I think transitions work,
So you would say you took like a 50% hit initially, and then gradually
Probably a little bit more.
More than a-
75, 50.
Wow. So you were grinding and making about 25% of the income that you were when you were a bartender.
Yeah. I remember my sister invited me to go on a trip with her in 2021 when we went to Chicago. And I told her, yeah, I'll go, but I mean, I don't. She was inviting me, and I told her no at first, but then she convinced me. She's like, all right, I'll go. But I really felt like shit going because I was broke at that time in Chicago. I was so broke, bro. And I felt kind of bad. I was feeling bad for a long time, but I was how do you say it? I was with my will, I was pushing through.
Okay.
Because I knew it was only temporary. I went back to bartending a couple of times, as you know, Baby Jane. I picked up a server gig at
At Christie's.
Christie's.
Yeah. You told me it was fine dining, and
Fine dining. I never done that before. I was there for 3 weeks.
that's when you were the guy like serving the wine and super professional.
Spilled wine twice on some people.
You can only serve on somebody's left, not on their right.
Yeah, crazy.
The silverware has to come out in a certain order. You came back and you were like, "This is not for me, man."
Yeah, man. Doing that, working here, and then I stopped that, then stopped working here for, just reasons to pursue what I wanted to. And then when I started pursuing what I wanted to, I took another pay cut because I didn't have no job, no money coming in, nowhere. I picked up a couple of clients in the Flagler gym, and I was training probably like 3 clients there. We shot this podcast. We were getting ready for the boot camp. The boot camp gave me life, honestly. Being around a big group of people, showing my passion, my charisma for fitness, and getting creative with it, impacting people, that made me feel real good. So getting consistent with that, posting the boot camp, a lot of eyes were on me, and I was trying different gyms. AeroFit, it was a hard process to get hired there. But because of the boot camp and because of my exposure and me putting myself out there constantly, like I was just telling Gabe, he reached out and he hired me. Once I got hired there, relieved. I'm like, time to work, keep working, honestly, but working in a new field. I was a little bit nervous and scared because I was complete rookie and I was going with coaches that have been in the game for 4, 5, 8, 10 years. So I get a lot of what's that syndrome called? Imposter?
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. But I knew my love for this is real. So I started diving. I started asking questions. And more importantly, personal training is really about being personable and having a connection with the person you're training and showing like that you really love this and that you really live the lifestyle. So that part was easy for me. The hard part was learning like a system of like a training program, nutrition, diet, and stuff like that. And I'm still learning because the coaches there help me a lot, But I feel like I've grown so much as far as learning like the ins and outs of personal training and working with people as far as fitness that I feel super comfortable right now.
So now you feel much.
I'll take anybody.
I was gonna say, how would you compare your confidence a year ago to your confidence today?
Oh man, tenfold. Probably Like how I told you I was making money and then I went broke and then I went like that. Well, my confidence in training went from here and went that same amount. You know, it went up.
Just skyrocketed.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like I could train anybody, but obviously, when it comes to like high performance athletes and all that, I don't have any experience there. That's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Because they have, more muscle endurance, more muscle tolerance,
And it's sport specific training.
and sport specific training.
But those are things that I believe that if you got into them and you were around other mentors, you would probably pick up on it quickly because you have a passion for it.
Exactly. And it's not something I actually want to pursue or anything, so I'm good.
Why? Who are the clients that you enjoy training?
That I enjoy training.
Yeah.
I enjoy training people that just have a hunger and a drive to get better. I could get the most average motherfucker and he could be super fucking fat and out of shape. But if that mindset, at least he's there to try and give me 100%, bro, that's it. That's all I need. That's all I need.
What are the types of clients that sort of discourage you?
The ones that don't listen and the ones that don't like take my advice seriously and they just kind of do what they want or they just say yeah and then they don't do it. That's a pet peeve. So I've had, in any profession you have best of both worlds and your typical client and then the clients that you like, fuck, I gotta work with this guy.
Yeah, I could see that. I
You know?
mean, I think it's the same when I was seeing patients before. There's people who come to you and they have the same repetitive issues. They're stuck in the same cycle. We identify the issues. We identify the cycle. We try to offer them interventions that they could do to help themselves and move forward.
Help themselves.
But
exactly.
because you're there to help them. Ultimately, that's the frustration that you have is because you want to see them get better. You know that they have the potential to get better. So it's not that you think that they're bad people. It's just like, dude, I know how to help you. You're coming to me for help, but then you're not taking the advice or we're formulating a plan together so we could follow that plan.
You're not following the plan.
And you're doing it on your own.
And I take that back. I don't want to say like, damn, I gotta work with this person because, I don't feel like I don't want to feel like that. And I'm learning how to get over my own frustration.
Mm-hmm.
So I just tell them straight up, like if they do a bad set or a bad rep, like I'll stop them right there. I'll be like, dude, like slow down. Like you're not here to throw the weight around. Like I'll be like, this is how you do it, and I'll show them again. And we'll repeat that as many times as we have to until we move on. Like we're not moving on until you give me a complete perfect set, like a bench press. You want to come down. If I tell you we're doing a 3-second eccentric and then we're going to go for 10 reps, control the weight. I'm not going to load you up crazy heavy or nothing. There's no need for you to be like fucking rocking out 10 reps. If I tell you, listen to my count, we're going 3, 2, 1, press. 3, like something so simple like that. If you can't follow directions like that, I'll be like, all right, you're doing it again. We're doing it again. And I have clients like that. My patience just gets a little bit better with that. So
Yeah, I think the more that I think it's just a matter of how you frame that situation, right? And if you could slow them down, first you got to check yourself because if you start feeling like edgy or anxious,
I started feeling like that.
yeah. So then that's just you got to check yourself because you have to check your own patience.
Yep.
And it's the same, and the same could be said when you're dealing with a child who's not listening to you.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Sometimes you have to say, wait, how am I speaking to her, and why is my message not getting across? I'm thinking about Eva right now. Oh, wait, I've been confronting her about this in this manner for so long. Like, let's say, I told Eva, Eva's been harassing me about getting a Tesla, right?
For like 2 years.
For like 2-3 years. So I call her. I say, hey, Eva, I'm about to get a Tesla. I'm super excited to tell her. Which one? And I'm like, oh, the Model 3. Why? Bro, so right away.
Shot you down.
Yeah, right away. I'm like upset. And I'm like, I shouldn't get upset and be reactive. I should slow myself down and say, wait, Eva, do you want to reframe that? Do you want to think about like how that why and the way that you said it might affect how I feel? Because I'm excited to tell you about what I just purchased. You were a major influence in me choosing this type of vehicle. Besides the IRS and taxes, that's a whole other ballgame. But there's different tax incentives available for you guys if you want a Tesla.
It worked out great.
Yeah, so it's worked out great. But like I have to recognize, why is she responding this way, and does she even recognize how the way that she's responding is affecting me? So maybe it's the same for you. You have to kind of slow yourself down and check yourself.
Not be impulsive.
Not be impulsive, not be reactive, and then say, okay, hold on. How can I reword this? Or where is the gap in understanding of
Let's try this again.
Let's try it again. Hey, you know what? That was a good tempo. It was a little bit too fast. We're going to just act like that set didn't happen. We're going to go again.
Yeah.
They're probably confused, but it's like nothing bad happened. That was a good try, but we're gonna do it again.
Yeah.
And then after the 5th time, they might be like, "Oh, let me listen to this dude."
Exactly. Exactly. It takes like 3 or 4 or even 5 times. sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Eventually, they're gonna say, "Oh
Yeah.
crap! Like I'm gonna keep doing this all day."
Yeah.
He's being so nice about it, but but my
Shaking.
yeah. But yeah, man. But so that's cool. So your journey, I can tell you this. Well, I think I said it one day with you and Willie, but I'll say it again now for all the single ladies out there. My boy is single.
I think everybody knows that.
The reason I'm saying that is not because you went out of your way. I mean, you worked with me from the beginning, from when the practice opened. I'm curious to hear the first podcast that we recorded, because now I want to listen back to it to see how far we've both come in the past year. But the journey that you went on with me here in this office, not in this physical location, the other physical at
I was
Regis.
here for a little bit too.
Yeah, yeah. But dude, you helped a lot. You even left you were working the front desk in a mental health office, and you left such an impact that people still call the office and say, "Hey, how's Alex doing?" You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that means that you somehow formed relationships with people over the phone by just scheduling appointments and collecting
Yeah.
co-pays and deductibles and getting their demographic information. That means that you actually cared. And
Yeah.
I think that's why you've been in the people business for a long time.
Yeah.
And people feel that when you actually care about them. You truly, like, you're doing your service and you're doing your job, but it's not just a job.
Yeah. You're
It's like,
invested.
you're invested.
Yeah.
So thank you, man, because this practice wouldn't be where it is today without you.
Thanks, bro.
So it's pretty dope. Pretty cool to take that ride with someone. I remember we used to get out of work. Sometimes we would leave like at 2:00
Yeah.
and just go to my house, and I'll start asking you questions about the office and how things are
And then I'll
running.
start getting phone calls.
Yeah. And yeah, we were still
Yeah,
seeing
we're still
patients
there.
in my house. Like, oh, hold on, I got another patient to see.
Yeah, man.
So
Sometimes we'll get to your house and I'll start getting phone calls. I'll be like, hold on, let me get this phone call. And I'm like, let me get my computer. And then I'll be working or whatever, scheduling something. And then you pull up next to me, open your computer, and start asking me questions.
What a
And then we're
difference, huh?
Yeah.
that was
That was a year
a year and a half ago. Yeah.
A year and a half ago. Because it's been a year since we did the first podcast. So this is 1 year anniversary for the podcast.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And then it's 2.5 in June. It'll be 3 years for AMP.
for AMP in June.
Yeah, because June 1st, 2020 was the day I got laid off from UM,
And you decided to go all in.
and I went all in. And since
Do
then,
you remember what you did? So the day after you got fired, do you remember what you did? You're like, all right, I gotta move some stuff in AMP, talk to Nadia, like see what's
I don't remember. I don't,
because
man.
bro, it's what you were talking about, like how you have come along. Like it's just making moves one day after the other and just using each day and milking it. Be like, how what can I do to get this thing up and running? And I remember working with Nadia. And all of a sudden, like, we just started getting massive phone calls, bro, and massive appointments. Because when I started there, remember I missed my flight. I'm like, hey, tell Nadia that I want to start.
Oh, wait,
Remember?
yeah. Did we tell that story
yeah, we
last
told
time?
that story.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, but I want
I
to say
think
it
so.
again.
Yeah.
Alex was supposed to be sponsoring, or he was...
reggaeton.
Alex was invested in a reggaeton group up in Tampa. He's supposed to catch a flight to go watch a music video be recorded, and I don't know what else. So he's putting his money into this reggaeton group who's supposedly up and coming. Hey, shout out. I hope you guys are still pursuing it, whoever you are.
He is.
He is?
He just put a new song out, man.
Dope.
I mean, happy for him, bro.
Yeah, no, dope.
Yeah.
But how interesting that you and your cousin were investing into this group. And obviously, that's a gamble. I mean, a music group
Let me tell
to
you, we got fucked.
What do you
We
mean?
lost the money.
How'd you lose the money?
The guy fucked us. The guy doesn't even produce for our boy anymore, the artist. He fucked us. And me and my cousin talked about it. I told my cousin, hey, if you want to deal with it, you could go ahead. If I ever see that guy, I'll confront him straight up. But if not, don't even worry about it. I just lost like, $2,000. So I'm okay. And then he decided to try to talk to him, and he couldn't get in contact with him. So my cousin just let it ride too. That shit will come back tenfold. It's okay.
You know what? Sometimes I think it's worth it if somebody, let's say if I lend somebody money, let's say I lend somebody $500 and they disappear on me, or like they start making excuses. You know what? I just paid $500 to not deal with that person ever again in my life.
Exactly.
And that might be $500 well spent.
Worth.
So I would rather just let that money go and not not confront them. Now, obviously, if you're talking massive amounts of money, then yeah, get a lawyer involved and,
Yeah,
go after
Of
it.
course.
But if it's something like that where it's like, you know what, shame on me.
Shame on me.
I probably invested in the wrong person. I made a mistake. I'll move on. I
Trusted way too soon.
Yeah,
Just got in blindly.
Yeah.
Put my money there.
But
it's all
still,
right. Continue the story.
Yeah. So back to the story. You were supposed to leave on a plane. I don't know how. I think because of you and Danny, and you guys missed.
We
this.
just missed the
They
flight.
missed the flight, and Alex just calls me that day.
I
He's
was
like,
pissed.
Alex is like, "Yo, I'm ready to work for you. Can I go to the office?" I was like, "Yeah, go to the office. Nadia's there. Figure it out. See what you could do." And you started training.
I started training with her there.
Now
The first day I was only there for like half the day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Nadia, I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's it, Monday through Friday.
That was the easiest hire I've ever made in my life, bro.
Well, let me continue what I was saying. All of a sudden, we just started getting these like bunch of calls. Like I remember, like the first month that I was there with Nadia, it was slow. Like we were there, like on the computer, not much to do. I would probably, out of the whole hours, I would probably work like not even 4 hours because there was nothing to do. We have little patients, maybe like what, like 15 patients.
So you owe me money, bro. You were just sitting there collecting money. Yeah, you're doing nothing?
Agent would see like 4 patients a day or less. So then all of a sudden we just started getting massive calls and massive traction and appointments, and the schedule started getting booked, and you just started getting, and you're back to back. And I'm like, does this guy know? Like, this nigga has to look at his schedule right now because we're getting booked up. And it's because your ass was out there on social media just putting it out there, bro. And you're putting messages every day, bro. Those messages were hitting, man. And then también, the whole thing with Cuba started coming along. You started putting your pictures, bro, and your Instagram blew up, bro. And then that social experience blew up AMP.
Yeah.
Because I was like, whoa. And then me and Nadia were handling it like fine. It was great, but we were actually busy now. Like I was working the full 7 hours.
So we gotta go back, and I gotta send you an invoice for how many months I was paying you full time, and you're only working half time.
That was only 3 weeks.
No, man, it's yeah.
It was only 2 days, bro. What are you talking about?
No,
So
but
yeah, man, that's I think that's what really blew up your business, and you continue to put messages out there, but just that streak that you went on, bro, that just gave you massive followers. I remember, and I've said this story before.
and it's not even massive, right?
Not even massive.
I started off with like 2,000. I have almost 7,000 now.
It's not even
But
massive.
it's not that. It's that people feel connected.
You're
to you.
connecting. You're connecting. You're
And
connecting.
So this is a message. I'm not here to brag about myself. I want people to learn from that little experiment that I ran, because I was just like, I'm gonna go hard. I'm just gonna post.
you had nothing else.
Post
You didn't have
and post.
You weren't a professor or nothing.
Yeah.
And what really hit me is when I got a couple phone calls from people that I knew. That I knew from the back then,
Yeah.
people from Kendall, Westchester, and then I'll look at the caller ID and be like, I know this girl.
Yeah. And then she was scheduling for a mental health visit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
For sure. And that's gonna go across.
Bro, that happened several times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I mean, not that I knew her personally, but I knew who she was.
Yeah.
I knew who the other person was. Like, wow.
Listen, let me go back to social media and putting myself out there. It was crucial to this business getting going. And I just decided I'm going to go in. If you are currently an entrepreneur, if you're currently starting a business venture, bro, get on TikTok, get on Instagram, get on Facebook.
Well, that's how I got hired.
Get on LinkedIn.
At Aerofit. That's how my coaching career got going.
Yeah.
I was putting massive information on Instagram, whether it's me leg pressing, squatting, doing push-ups, pull-ups, and then boot camps. Bro, that's it. Like I just started, even if the post wasn't that good, eyes were on me.
It doesn't matter. That's the thing. People need to realize that exactly that. People want to put out this, like even this podcast, man, there's a lot of production to put out a post, right? I'm doing it because it's cool and because I'm enjoying having these conversations with people. But really, this is a lot of production to put up a post. You don't need these Shure mics that are I don't know how much money. You don't need cameras. You just need to get on this. Like everybody on TikTok is just like this, throwing commercials on themselves.
Throwing commercials, man.
And there's some people that are making millions off of social media. So what makes you think that you can't draw an audience that is going to relate to your message, or that's going to buy from your business, or that they're going to share with their friends about your business? Because sometimes it's not
that direct person.
It's not that direct person. It's the fact that somebody comes to your cousin and says, Coño, my aunt is depressed and blah, blah, and they start talking to her. Oh, my aunt is really going through it. She just lost her job. The first thing I want people to think about is, oh, AMP mental health. Because why? Because it's constantly flashing.
Seek help.
Seek help.
I know this guy that put some funny ass videos up. Maybe this could help you.
No, but if you constantly put yourself out there, Gabe, as a music producer, as a video editor, as a videographer, as a photographer, if he just starts putting himself out there left and right, and people start associating Vibe with 13 or Gabriel with videography, with video editing, with music production, just constant. This my friend from high school just texted me this morning. She's like, "Yo, Adrian, I had a dream about you last night." This is nothing sexual. Let me put that out, disclaimer. She's like, "I had a dream about you last night. You are all over my Instagram, and I can't get away from you." She's like, "I'm going back down to Miami soon. Let's get together." And I was like, "Yeah, for sure. Like, let's have a drink, whatever." And just, but it's that since I'm constantly on, and it doesn't have to be just AMP shoving it down your throat.
Yeah, no.
I'm trying to preach a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I'm trying to preach, like, physical fitness, movement, get outside, join a community,
Outlet, relationships.
all these things. But if somebody thinks about mental health, I want them to come to me, and I want them to write me a message and say, "Hey, this is what's going on. How can I get my friend help?" And guess
Bro,
what?
like you get tons of those messages.
But the good
all
part
time.
is, I know where to send them.
Yeah,
I can actually help them. I'm not just
exactly.
blowing smoke and telling people, "Oh, reach out to me," and then I'm just letting them go. No, people reach out to me, and if I cannot help them here at AMP,
You connect them with another.
I'm going to tell them, "Hey, this therapist is awesome. Oh, wait, you have an adolescent boy who's struggling with this? I got somebody for you.
Right.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. My therapist is booked right now. I don't want you to wait. Let me get you somebody else." And it goes the same with personal training. The more you continue to put yourself out there, the more that people are going to seek you and find you based on physical fitness. So, and this goes for any business. I'll tell my brother the same thing about tires. I'll tell, Janet up there, she does different things with like silk screens and prints and stuff like that. And I just want people to recognize that the more you put yourself out there, the more you stop caring about the judgment of others, the more you stop worrying about perfection of whatever content you're putting out, the more exposure you're going to get. The more exposure, the more eyes on you. The more eyes on you, the more people are thinking about you when those services that are needed come up. As soon as they think about mental health, think about Adrian. As soon as they think about physical fitness and personal training, think about Alex, think about Aerofit, think about Gabe for video editing, like that. And if you're consistent, it'll happen, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, I go off on these rants because I've lived it.
And
I've seen it.
Not as big yet, but my transitional year was huge.
Of course, it changed your life. If it wasn't for social media and the boot camps and all the actions you were taking daily, you wouldn't be where you are today. And how many different opportunities do you have right now as a result of putting yourself out there?
I decline opportunities sometimes.
You have to decline now.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have options. So it's crazy, bro.
And this is exactly where I wanted to be, in this gym, to get the knowledge, the exposure, and the experience that I want in coaching.
No, this is exactly where you wanted to be. Are there hard days right now?
Yeah.
Are there days that you're like, what the hell is going on?
I told Eric yesterday, the owner of Aerofit, I go, "Hey man, thank you for the opportunity. Because of this opportunity, I was able to go to Colombia for 10 days and really enjoy myself. I'm not gonna lie, there are some days that are hard. I wake up at 5 a.m. and I'm like, fuck, bro, I don't want to go. I got like five hours of sleep, horrible sleep. But guess what? I take a shower, and I'm out there. When I'm in my car, all I think about is, I prayed for this. I put in work to be in this position, to be driving to help somebody get in shape and get their mind right at 6 a.m. so they could go into work and be a fucking
savage.
Savage, straight up. And I'll give them a badass training, sweaty, go home, take a shower, have your healthy, clean breakfast, and then, hey, go take care of business. Go be great. I'll tell them, go be great.
Yeah,
as corny and cliche as it sounds, man, I don't know. I like that, because that's how I turned my life around. In the gym, through fitness. Once I got a fire-ass workout, my mindset changed, and I just feel great about myself. My self-esteem went up. I feel good. Like, oh, wow, I started my day on the right foot. Let me go home, take a shower, have my nice little meal, pack my lunch, I'm gonna go to AMP. Go be great.
Yeah.
Make connections, make relationships.
It's crazy because I just started HIIT training again. I mean,
Oh, I did HIIT today, bro. That workout fucked me up. I did HIIT today.
but fucked you up in what sense?
Man, I haven't done a HIIT since
Oh, so
at
just-
45.
So you were out of breath, destroyed.
Yeah, I felt like I was getting sick. I got after the workout. I actually recorded this workout with the videographer at Aerofit because I just wanted to put content out. After I finished the workout, I went to the sauna and I was there for 15 minutes and I was like, I feel like I'm gonna pass out, bro. I got out, took a cold shower. I'm alive again. I had my meal. I'm alive again.
I just started going to anatomy and I started going to the HIIT classes there. And today we were running sprints outside.
Oh yeah.
It was a mix. It was go outside and run sprints. And it's funny because at first she was like, "Oh, everybody go to the treadmills," but then she's like, "No, it's too many of us. The gym
Yeah.
is kind of packed. Let's go outside and run sprints." What's cool, and it goes back to what we've talked about. Sprints create competition.
Right, race.
So
a race.
So at first they took off sprinting, and I was like, "Oh, hold up!" So I caught up and I smoked them. But on the second round, the girl,
They're gassed.
no, there's a girl there, and she's from Venezuela, and she's just all of a sudden she took off again. She goes, "I'm gonna beat you this time," and I was like, "Nope." Just start sprinting, dead sprinting. And the cool part is when you're working out with other people like that. I have never met this girl, but right away your brain goes into. If you're with competitive people,
You're going to compete.
they want to push.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, we're gonna push today. And let me tell you, I got a hell of a workout. And what's even better that feeds me internally is that I know I pushed her too.
Yeah.
There's something to me about HIIT training and group classes when you're pushing one another. There's something to be said about classes that everybody is isolated, right, on their own little mat, and there's no interaction. And this goes back to what we're talking about. I want to create that sense of competition. I want to create a format where we're looking at mobility, yoga, aerobic and anaerobic movements using bands and body weight and sprints and running and setting up
What you said, you get your heart rate up, you get it back down.
Yeah.
You get your heart rate up, you get it back down. That's what I did today.
it's getting the heart rate up, bringing it back down, and in a sense of we're in this together, but also
We're
a
also
sense of,
competing, right.
hey, either we're going to compete or I'm going to push you to make sure that we're going to a limit you haven't gone before.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the other day, I think it was 2 days ago, there was a class where we were doing ski ergs. And the same thing, I got paired up with this Venezuelan girl. I think her name is, I forgot if it was Paola or Laura. I forgot. Or Claudia or Laura. I forgot. I didn't understand her right when she said it. And then she corrected me later. But anyhow, I'll meet her again and I'll correct her name. So we jump on the ski erg and they said 250 meters. So I'm going, whoo, whoo, whoo. I'm the only one breathing that loud in the class, right? We're outside in the gym floor. And she starts saying, sí, vamos, vamos.
Dale que tú puedes.
Vamos. And I'm like, bro, I'm pushing. And I'm like, she's up next. So if she sees how hard I'm working and she's telling me, let's go, and I'm pushing more because she's telling me,
She's gonna come in hot.
get ready to work, girl. Get ready to work. And guess what? She jumped on. Alex, by the time that class was over, that girl was spinning because she was
Yeah.
pushing, but I would be like, oh, she was pushing me. I see how hard I see she's letting up a little bit. No.
No.
Let's go.
Pick it up.
Let's go. And
Yeah.
when we were done, but everybody else in the class was like, wow, you guys put in work today.
Everybody took notice.
Yeah. And the same thing happened today. These things are addicting in these classes,
Group, man.
Group fitness is so powerful. Today in the class, she gave us dice to roll at the end. She just left a dice on mine and a dice on somebody else's. And one of them was a time and the other one was the movement. And so when I rolled this dice, it said walking lunges and the other one said 90 seconds. So everybody had to do walking lunges around the room for 90 seconds, right? But guess what? I grabbed a kettlebell and started doing them. And she was like, oh. So guess what? The other girl grabbed the kettlebell. Before you knew it, half of the class also grabbed the kettlebell
Exactly.
and we were all doing it.
You set a standard, set a pace.
And everybody just follows.
Yeah.
So we all, as individuals, will limit ourselves, but you put us in a group setting and we all move forward together and we all progress and break barriers. That is the power and the beauty of group training.
Yeah, man. That's big. That's big time because people see you and they'll be like, okay, yeah, we could push a little bit harder.
I have
grab
more.
this weight. Yeah, why am I gonna do
Oh,
body
he,
weight?
He grabbed the weight. I should grab the weight too.
Exactly.
Oh, he's doing jumping squats. I should do jumping squats too.
Yeah, I could do it.
And
It's
so
it's a form of comparison, but in a good way.
In a good way. It's
In this,
constructive.
in this format, in this group fitness.
Yeah.
It's in a good way.
So I'm excited, bro. I'm brand new at this gym. They're gonna get to know me real quick because I'm
You're enjoying the workouts?
I'm enjoying them,
Yeah.
bro. I'm enjoying the workouts, and I've always been able to push myself with workouts. Fine, I'll
By
take
yourself or
I'll push
anything?
myself to the limit. But what's really challenging me right now is what goes on in the back room.
The cold plunge?
The cold plunge,
Yeesh. I can't wait
bro.
to get to get.
48 degrees. 48 degrees.
You're numbed. You're numbed. And
You're-
you just dive right in. Hey, respect to. Hey, this guy's a maniac. this guy's a maniac. He just jumps in the water.
Bro, you just gotta go. If you think
I
about
gotta
it,
feel it out first.
yeah. Alex puts his feet in.
I get in.
He stirs
I
his
get
toes.
in, but
he's
but-
like, I don't know,
and
bro.
I hold it for 3 to 5 minutes, but it takes me a minute. It takes me like 20 minutes.
But
Huh?
I've been doing a lot of reading on cold plunges and like cold showers and whatnot. And the trick is to control your breathing prior to getting in and focus on your breathing.
Oh,
as you're
prior.
going
For
in.
sure. Even
Right.
before
Then you start to take all the focus off of the cold and
And
onto your
yourself.
breathing.
just breath,
Yeah.
just breath. And that's what I do before I go in. Gabe's right. Before I go in, I'm already, and I probably sound like a maniac, but I don't care. And
Yeah.
as soon as I get in, douche. Oh, and there's something else. When you do a cold plunge, don't sit still because you
Move around.
actually form a thermal layer. If you sit still in the water, your body wants to stay warm. So naturally, the heat it's releasing forms kind of like an invisible layer, obviously invisible, but you form a thermal layer that actually keeps you a little bit warmer than if you move around. So the trick is while you're in there, stir around, move your body around, make sure your hands are also submerged, make sure you're up to your neck, or all these different things. And let me tell you, it's been invigorating for me. Like I wake up and I'm like, I mean, I get out of the gym and I'm like, wow, I'm high right now. And what I've seen,
Dopamine.
yeah, the dopamine is like 2.5
Crazy.
times. It's like a drug. It's literally like a drug. I'm still doing more research on it, but so far I could tell you anecdotally from my personal experience, I feel different.
Yeah, I've been taking cold showers too. Not cold plunge because I don't have access to one, but I do take cold showers almost every day. And I don't do what Gabe just said of like prepping myself. I just do what you do, and I just dive in and I put it cold all the way, and then I figure it out. And I stay there and I figure it out and I focus on my breathing. But I'm gonna try that next time and get my mind right before I put it all the way cold. But man, after I get out of that cold, like today when I did my workout that messed me up, I couldn't be in the sauna for too long because I was feeling like shit. I was like retarded, man. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get in the shower, cold shower, bro. It revived me. I felt amazing after. And I told you the other day, I took a cold shower like at 5:30 a.m. before my 6 a.m. client. And when I got in the car, when I got out of the shower, I was super cold. I was like trembling. I'm like, oh man, I hope I don't get sick or anything like that. But you don't get sick. When I was in my car driving, I just felt this rush of energy and I felt amazing. It felt like it was like 1 p.m. and I was full of energy.
Yeah.
And it was like 6 a.m. And I presented myself that day as energetic and energized towards my client. So
Yeah.
that feeds her.
Yeah.
And she had a great workout.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. We've been sleeping on cold plunges
Yeah.
and cold showers for a while. And it's not only that, so everybody has these different barriers that they have to break through. For some people, the barrier is actually just getting into the water, getting into the cold shower, getting into submerging yourself into the water, right? That's the barrier number
You're
one.
in and you're out.
Yeah. The next one comes once you're
Stay.
in the water. Initially, your body goes into a state of shock. Your breath speeds up and your heart speeds up. And your body's initial response is just a flood of an alarm system going off in your brain saying, get out.
And you're numbed. You
No,
start getting numbed.
But that takes a while. Initially, your body just wants to get out. And you have to break through that wall that your body says get out. And that's where the breath work really comes in. Then after some period of time, again, you hit another wall where your body is telling you, get out.
After like a minute, right?
Yeah. And so I've gotten so far. I haven't done that much. I mean, I don't know. You don't want to become hypothermic, especially in 48-degree water. So I don't know exactly the time limit. I'm up to like 4 minutes with my headphones on, just listening to a song during that time and then just moving around. But let me tell you, the last time that I got up to 3 minutes was my mark for a while. That I was just doing 3 minutes every day, and then maybe transferring back and forth from jacuzzi to cold, jacuzzi to cold. But recently I just hit the 4 minute mark, and again I felt good. I was like, bro, I can stay in longer. So I broke past another barrier, but I don't want to. I want to do a little bit more research and realize like time frame. What's the best protocol?
So Huberman,
Yeah,
he said
12 minutes a week is what he said. Yeah,
I don't know about the time. I didn't get too far in the podcast, but what he does preach a lot is to do it before the workout.
Yeah, so you want the
Joe
vasoconstriction
Rogan
before.
says it too,
Yeah. So, but again, I want to, and he actually posts all of the research on his website. So I want to sift through that and kind of read a little bit deeper and not just take his word for it. I really want to look at the literature and say, and say why, what is the right protocol and why. And once I understand the rationale as to why, then it's going to help me better formulate like a plan. Like, okay, well then I do have to get to the gym earlier. I should do the cold plunge first, or damn, this is a recovery day, so it's fine if I do it at the end.
Yeah,
like I'm just trying to.
As long as you do it.
Yeah. Well, no, because I don't want to. Because imagine
overdo it.
No. What? I don't want to vasoconstrict after a workout when I need more blood flow to those muscles. And like whatever nutrition you take in that 2-hour window after your workout, I want more to flow into the muscles. I don't want to constrict that and limit blood flow, because when you're in such cold water, all your blood flow constricts to your vital organs. So you're limiting the blood flow out here to your periphery.
Okay, yeah.
But again, I have to look at that.
Yeah. As far as that, I don't know, but I do know the sauna is good after the workout.
Yeah, but why? Because it's causing vasodilation.
Exactly.
You have more circulation, more blood flow, more nutrition, more removal of toxins. So all blood flow is always going to facilitate healing. And so yeah, that's I 100% understand why they're saying don't cold plunge afterwards. But then also, is there some inflammatory benefits? Cold plunge jacuzzi afterwards and maybe finish with the hot, even though you did hot, cold. I don't know. But
Huberman has all the answers.
Yeah. I have to see.
Just got to dive in.
But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy where we're at right now. It's crazy the journey that both of us have been on. And it's cool to find people like Gabe or just the different people that we meet that are coming through, still coming through.
Yep.
Ramses came through here. I still got to edit some video and get his stuff out there, bro, because this guy's on a journey too. He's grinding. He has a huge following, but he's still busting his ass. Andre and Nebraska are coming in here and there, starting their podcast that has traction. So it's cool to put yourself around other people that are trying to do new things, because then it becomes contagious and you're inspired. And I have the desire right now to still make improvements on the practice and still make it grow. So that's my challenge now. My challenge isn't so much seeing patients anymore and grinding it out. It's more, hey, how do I keep the values, the mission, and the vision of this company, still help people, hire more people that are quality, generate revenue, and keep that cycle going.
Creative ways.
And then build community, and then keep helping, and then start a nonprofit, and keep helping, and draw more revenue, and keep helping.
And you're doing it. It's getting creative ways. That's the entrepreneur.
Yeah, man. It's so cool. It really is cool. It's scary. There's days where I'm like, how many patients are we seeing today? Is that enough? Are we growing? Like, is this plateauing? Like, is this going down? And sometimes, I mean, obviously you look at the numbers and you look at everything, and yeah, you have to, there's a lot of people whose livelihood depends on what decisions you make. So it's a different ball game, but it's still really cool.
Really cool. Kevin Hart said this, and I listened to this quote the other day. He's like, there's gonna be days where you feel like you're like frozen, like you're doing whatever it takes, but you're just not moving for days at a time. But you really are. It's just like you don't see it.
Yeah.
And then eventually you'll be like, oh, okay, I was moving forward, right? I'm actually, those days that I feel like I'm not doing anything, I am.
Yeah.
Because days count.
Yeah.
That's why you got to take each day with that mindset. Yeah. And just even if you feel that way, you just got to, what do I got to do to move forward?
What do I got to do to move forward?
I got to get my workout in. Just like things that are non-negotiable, What
are your non-negotiables?
My non-negotiables, getting my workout in and having my meals. Like, not to defer off of my clean habits. Trying to read more. study, and just be my best to the clients. And sometimes I honestly don't feel like that, you know? So I have my days. Everybody does.
Everybody has their days. I think what's cool is probably the fact that you're able to influence these people even on the days that you're having bad days. They might not even recognize you're having a bad day.
They don't.
But as long as you put in the effort to move forward and to show them, hey, bro, I'm here. And I think that takes, I think it's just a matter of you being mindful and actually caring about what you do. Because if you didn't care, then you wouldn't put any effort, even on those days that you feel like shit. There's been a lot of talk lately about people hating the word motivation. I don't know why I keep on, whenever I see an interview recently and they ask
I love
about motivation.
honestly. But yeah, I could see why.
Why? Why do you think?
My motivation has gone out the window.
What was your motivation?
What was my motivation?
Yeah. You said it went out the window, so I'm saying what was and why has it gone out the window?
I don't know. I feel like because I was going into this new career field, right? This new industry, and I was really excited about it. So I had motivation to go hard every day. But now it's not about going hard every day. It's about going smart every day. Like I don't work out super hard every day. You know, I have my days. But like my motivation is out the window, so discipline kicks in, and that's why I know like they preach that a lot. Oh, motivation ain't shit. You gotta have discipline and drive and all of that. And yeah, that's super important because on the days you feel like you're not moving forward, you have that discipline to back you up.
Yeah.
And so if you follow that, like deep down inside, just know you're moving forward, even though it doesn't feel like it. But I honestly, I love my motivation. When my motivation kicks in, I'm an animal, bro. Like, cause I have my discipline to back me up. So if I don't have motivation, I'll fall off that. I won't feel great, but I'll still get it done. But when my motivation kicks in, I'll get it done and more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What you said initially sounded like the honeymoon phase in a relationship.
What?
Where initially you go in and you're so
Oh, you're
motivated.
excited.
Yeah, you're extremely motivated about this new job and this new opportunity. And oh my God, I get to train clients. And then 6 months in, you're like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? And I think that happens to a lot of people in relationships. They jump into a new relationship. Or some people jump from relationship to relationship to relationship.
Seeking
Why?
that?
Because there's a high that comes with that beginning, right? There's a high that comes with that honeymoon phase where you feel like everything is, you know, like they say, rose-colored glasses, right? You're seeing the world through rose-colored glasses, so everything looks beautiful to you. But then reality sits in when you start recognizing that your partner, they have flaws, just like you do. And maybe they don't put this clothes away. They might not close that drawer. They might not do the dishes or cook as much as you wanted them to, or whatever the case may be. But it's like,
there's a little pile that starts adding up.
Yeah, but you have to recognize that, well, I mean, a relationship isn't about the honeymoon phase, and neither is a job transition or anything new that you do. When you start a new exercise program, right, and you haven't worked out for a long time, all of a sudden you're back in the gym and it feels good. But how long does that high last? How do you find that high continuously? Or how do you truly fall in love with it? And when I say fall in love comes with discipline, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Love comes with valuing that thing, that workout, that person, that job, even on the days where you feel like shit.
Even on the pitfalls, downfalls.
Even when you're down in the dirt.
So you got to feel that way to really experience the love for it, huh?
I think so.
Yeah.
If you really, truly want it, you have to hit that wall and recognize, well, is this right for me? Do I continue with this? Do I really want it? Or maybe it was just a honeymoon phase that made me believe that I wanted to keep it. Right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we don't really want it.
Yeah. It's just a phase.
It's a phase.
It's a high.
Yeah.
When the high's gone, then what?
Look,
What are you falling back on?
I'll give you an example. We just spent 10 days in Colombia. I came back and I'm like, I want to move to Colombia. And why do I want to move? Because the dollar goes so far. We were having dinners with cocktails and entrees and appetizers with 3 people and paying $30, $40. And I'm saying,
and great food.
Beautiful
food.
restaurants on rooftops, and we're paying $40. In Miami, that same meal would have cost us $250.
Facts.
So I go and I have this great trip in Colombia. I come back on this high, that honeymoon phase. And I'm already thinking, damn, I want to buy property there. And why do I want to buy property there? Because, and I've explained this to you before, but I'll say it now. Every time I've leveled up here in life in terms of financial level ups in Miami, I level up, I'm making more money, and the economy in Miami does this.
Cost of living is
And then I move up again and I'm like, yeah, I caught it. And then real estate soars past me. And I'm chasing the rabbit here. And the truth is, in Colombia, I have the rabbit's fur hanging and that rabbit is roasting on that bad boy. Right?
by the ears.
So my quality of life in Colombia today could be a lot better. Now it comes with some sacrifice. I move away from familiarity. I move away from family. My daughter obviously still 14. She's about to be 14, so she's not going to be in college for a while. So it's not a move I'm going to make tomorrow, but I need to see past this honeymoon phase, right? So I need to make sure that, is this just rose-colored glasses, or is this something I really want? And is this a really realistic thought process?
Yeah, what's it gonna feel like after being there for a year?
Yeah. So I'm going back again now today. I fly out in a little while. I'm gonna look at some real estate. I'm gonna look at a bikini company because my friend wants my boy Willie. Shout out to Willie. Willie
Some
wants
new business ventures.
Yeah, Willie wants to check out a bikini factory because he all of a sudden wants to work with bikinis because the numbers look right. Which is, hey, let's go, man.
Let's go.
Let's just see what opportunities lie. But I want to get past the honeymoon phase
Yeah.
because I need to be logical and methodical and not just emotional. Because right now this is emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe I get there and I say, oh shit, safety's number one, bro. I could walk down the street in Coral Gables and not worry about anything. I walk down the streets of Medellin and it's not so safe. Right. So there's different things to take into account. And I think that honeymoon phase won't be overcome until I expose myself continuously.
Yeah.
So
time,
we'll see.
Time does that.
Hey, it's 2023, baby.
2023, baby.
Let's see where this goes. And I'm curious, man. I'm curious to see where
You know
this
what
ride
happens?
takes us.
You know what happens to me sometimes now that we're kind of on this topic? Some days that we're talking about motivation and discipline and the honeymoon phase. Some days like you feel great. Like maybe, I mean, you don't feel like this because we're not in the same position. But let's say I have a morning full of clients, right? And I wake up, I have great sleep, I have a cold shower, I feel great, and I attack my day. And I'm feeling amazing. I'm like, damn. Sometimes I think, damn, it would be nice to work out right now, to get my workout in because I'm motivated.
Yeah.
Right now, I'll go hard right now. I have so much energy. But damn, I don't have my gap until 2 p.m. So I got to get my workout in like at 2 p.m. Bro, when 2 p.m. comes around, I'm like,
Yeah, you have no desire.
I'm no desire. You know what I mean? So
how
it
do you
comes in
push?
phases.
How do you get through that?
Yeah, you got to do it anyways.
Just do it anyways.
Got to do it anyways. That's where discipline comes in. That's why my motivation's out the window. It fades. And sometimes I have the motivation and I can't use it right then and there. So what I do, I just use it for my clients, for my career-wise. I cue better. I'm more energized. I'm like present with them while they're training with each rep. Like that's important, man. That goes a long way. That's important. Not like one of these, another trainer that just lets you do your thing and sits back.
And counts reps.
Like I have sometimes, and counts reps. I have a client sometimes that he's doing it and then he's like, I know. I'm like, I know, dude. I'm just reinforcing you, just reminding you. You're lucky that I have the energy to remind to keep that because now it'll be quiet as a mouse. And some clients like that. Some clients just want to do their thing.
Yeah.
And that's respectable. But I feel like a good coach should be verbal, communicative. Yeah.
Well, no, I guess to wrap this up, the last thing I want to say is I don't think it's been short, but I think that I think we need to really work on this group fitness thing, man. I'm putting this. I want to record this right now because I really think that we know the vibe in terms of what we want, and it's just a matter of creating to see how it does.
I mean, I know since last year when we did the boot camp, it was great, man. I felt good. I mean, we did it for so long that I got the highs with the lows. At first I was excited that you were doing it with me. Some days I did it by myself.
Yeah.
And I was cool with that. But some days I'd be like, damn.
It's Saturday morning.
I got to get all this equipment out. I got to get the equipment ready. I got to do it. Damn, 5 people only show up. That's cool.
Yeah.
15 minutes go past, we warm up, and I start feeling good again. It's like I warm up with them.
And then 10 more people show up in the warm-up.
Yeah, late.
So, yeah.
But that's cool, So I feel like this next phase it'll be a new and improved, and I think we'll it'll be good.
Yeah, I think I'm making a lot of different connections with different trainers. So I just want to mix it up, bro. I want to get as much knowledge at the table to really see like what kind of a dynamic workout can we come up with that builds community, gets that sense of competition, but also focuses on mobility, movement, and
Wellness.
longevity, bro.
Hmm.
Because I think it's easy to beat up the body, but we want to teach people beyond that. We want to teach them, hey, bro, this body needs to be loved and cared for just as much as it needs to get beat up if you want it to grow or to improve. And I think that's the only thing that a lot of people don't realize.
It's not appealing. This is great. Now you just turned up a light bulb on me. Now that we're on the podcast, I could communicate this and educate the mass a little bit better.
The masses.
Because what you just said right there, people don't like regular people that don't train consistently on a consistent basis and that haven't changed their body. They don't understand how important that is. And that's not appealing. That's not sexy, and it's not attractive, because all my clients, I try to give them a recovery day, and they don't want it. I'd be like, you need it. We got to do it. 30 minutes. Let's do at least half of it, and then I'll give you the other half. We'll get a workout in. I know you don't want to waste time, but we're not wasting time. We're getting your body ready for the next workout, because we're going to go hard and I'm going to push you. Mm-hmm. Your joints need to be ready to load. Your joints need to be ready to move through its full range of motion. The last thing I want is you not having a range of motion and I put load on you and you get hurt. That's not good. And then you're out for the count. So you got to understand that taking care of your body, yes, it's training hard, but that's half of it. The other half is nourishing your body with the right foods and liquids, water, but also using the training phases to recover, stretch, lengthen your joints, make it feel good. It might be annoying, but the more you do it, the more it feels good. And that makes you feel better for your next lift. Doing stuff for your hips, rotations, FRC that I preach a lot, and it just makes you feel better for your next lift, and you have the range of motion. It's like WD-40 for the joints.
And not only that, if you start doing
flossing your joints.
Yeah, if you start doing that now, the longevity
The
you're gonna
longevity's
have. So you're gonna
amazing.
be 70 and still have that movement, mobility, and strength, because with that mobility comes more strength. Man, I see these girls in the gym with hip flexibility, and I'm like, bro.
Yeah, or a horrible squat, and they're loading the bar, and I'm like, dude, you don't need all that load. Yeah. Like, if you could just get a clean, perfect squat, each rep, do like 10 to 15, lightweight, like you're gonna get hypertrophy out of that. You just gotta do it right. And that's what I educate all my clients from day one, man. And for example, for me, today, my workout was very short. I had a very short workout today, maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I went really hard in those 25 minutes. But before that, I took 30 minutes
to prep the body,
to stretch. I stretched for about 15 minutes. And then the other 10 minutes, I started warming up with light push-ups, light pull-ups, because my workout consisted of push-ups and pull-ups and sled work and core work. So I prepped my body first. And then when I got into the actual working rounds, I'm like, all right, now we're pushing 100%. And that's what we got to understand. People think they come in and like, all right, let's get right to the workout and give it 40%. I'm not going to see much, bro. Yeah. I mean, you'll see if you're a rookie, beginner, you'll see it, but it's not a right way to go approach about it,
Well,
and that's what I've learned.
Well, look, I mean, I learned the hard way, right? I was at.
And now you love the recovery part of it, and you don't,
But I was at the gym doing HIIT every day for years, and then all of a sudden I went to go do a different movement, and I went to go bench press, because I bench pressed my whole life, and I've always had a solid bench press. And I'm in Mexico City at a hotel on vacation, and I start loading the bar. And guess what? My range wasn't ready for that load. And boof, my chest, my pec tendon blows up.
Click, clack.
While I'm on vacation in Mexico City.
Feeling, man.
Or in Cancun, wherever I was in a resort. Dude, terrible. I never want to feel that again. I felt like a grenade went off on my chest. And
you were out for the count.
And it was because I didn't take care of my joints and my range.
You just wanted to get in and lift.
Because I was going in every day to a HIIT camp that had repetitive movements, and I didn't recognize that in the long term it was going to cause an injury.
And you're somebody that has experience in training, and you still didn't recognize it. And that's okay. Yeah. So I'm just saying that to imagine the person that doesn't have experience. They don't know.
Yeah.
they don't feel it. They're like, oh, this is normal.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
Like, bro, all the little injuries that I had, bro, they're gone, bro. I have no injuries right now. Maybe, what do I have? Shoulders gone. Remember I thought I had a hernia?
Yeah.
That's gone.
Yeah, because you've just been taking care of range of motion, movement, core work,
And
stabilization.
And when I weight train, bro, I don't weight train with crazy weight. I'm a small frame dude. I don't need all that weight, bro. I'm okay. I'm not gonna compete. Powerlifting or none of that.
Yeah.
So that's important.
Bro. Mobility. Bueno.
Mobility gets you real.
I don't want. This was a random
strength.
impromptu little podcast today.
Mm-hmm.
About to jump on a plane shortly. And
it's 1 o'clock. 1:05.
It's 1 o'clock. Yeah. So I gotta get going. I was gonna get a haircut. That's what I was about to do, but
You get it in Colombia.
that's true. I might.
He loves getting haircuts in foreign places.
Whenever I go to another country, I get a haircut. I've had.
When we were in Colombia, he got a haircut and he comes back to the hotel. I was sick that day. He comes back to the hotel. He's like, bro, let me tell you about this barber. Nicest guy ever. He was quiet. Let me do my thing. It was great. How long did it take you to find a barbershop?
I know. Just walking down the street. It was just
No,
like,
because I'd be like, oh, you go there. Go there. You're like, no, that place looks like whatever.
I don't even know. But I've gotten my haircut in the most ratchet places in Cuba.
I mean, that's what you look for.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you look for.
No, this was a
honestly.
nice shop. The
was a
last
nice
time I
shop.
went to Colombia, yeah, it was.
Let me just tell you, me and Adrian, we'll get lost. We'll go adventuring. This guy would take his camera with just a little backpack and ride.
Out there on the streets.
Love it, man. Costa Rica next.
Costa Rica? I'm down. I mean, I've never been to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
But Colombia was
Man, Colombia was a great experience for me.
Yeah.
I came back so refreshed, so good.
actually my mind was just sifting through everything with the business while I was away. That's important. I think people need to recognize as they're building something, you need to step away from it every once in a while, even if it's just for 2 hours during the day. And stepping away from it doesn't mean that you're slacking off. Stepping away means that you're giving your brain a chance to process everything that's going on and to start organizing it. So take a pen and a paper and just start categorizing things and really get organized. It's helped me so much. That's all I've done since this opened is constantly regroup, look at what's going on right now in my life, in the business, like everything. I'm talking about from goals that I have personally, emotionally, relationship-wise, then within the business subcategories. What am I doing with employees? How
It's
am
like,
I hiring? How am I marketing? Am I reaching the right audience?
Right.
How am I establishing community? Am I really expressing values? What's my activity like on social media? Like, bro, I'm telling you that I sat there and on the plane ride out, we were both writing. Dude, everything that's on that board out there basically came from that flight because I was just unloading everything that was in my mind.
Yeah.
Little by little, all that stuff is going to come to life.
Right.
It's going to come to life.
Yeah, you doing that is like a recharge for your brain.
Complete.
And so you come back after that little break more creative, more smooth, like everything just
Not
flowing.
only that,
you know?
how hungry were you to get back and start training people? No, not hungry.
Well, not super hungry. I was having a great time.
Oh, okay.
It was, we're out there. But when I actually got back, I was ready to get back because obviously financially,
Yeah.
I was ready, to get back to work. But when I got back day one, I was like, wow, man, this is good. Like, I'm happy. I'm excited again. I'm giving great service. Refreshed, bro. Refreshed, recharged. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, bro.
So it was good, man. It was good.
Bueno, this was a one year podcast impromptu little conversation with my boy Alejandro Alex Cherna Roque. Bueno,
This
bro.
guy.
All right.
That man.
It's a pleasure, man.
Always.
We out. Peace out.
Guys. What's going on?
Bro. I'm going to Colombia in a little while.
That was like what, like 40 minutes, 30?
No, it's like